live chat. Thought it'd be a good time to come on here, talk to you guys, hang out, answer any questions you guys have. Coming to you guys live from Whistler, BC, Canada. And over the last few weeks, we've been having some really good snow here in Whistler. Been getting up the mountain quite a bit, and yeah, it's been a good time. So yeah, I thought I'd come on here, talk to you guys, see where you guys have been snowboarding, how the conditions have been where you guys are, and yeah, just answer any questions. I know that a lot of places, the resorts unfortunately are closed, so that really sucks. Um, and yeah, depending on where you are, some places are open. Luckily, here in BC, we're still open, but a lot of places are shut. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys. So we've got everyone hopping into the chat room here. So let's give some early shout outs to people tuning in. We got Quentin, Harjot, Fishing Monkeys, Brody Sewell says he's in Wist as well. Awesome. Thomas, we got Cars on here, Iconic Wavy, YK, Fishing Monkeys again. What's up, everyone saying hello to each other. Nick Bob 1 wants to know, have you ever been to the East Coast? Depends on how far east you mean. So I grew up like near Toronto in Canada, so that's pretty east. And yeah, I grew up snowboarding there, and then moved out west to Whistler when I was like 20, 21 years old. So yeah, I've done a bit. Not really, no snowboarding on the east side of the US, but yeah, mostly around Ontario. We got Philip watching from Vermont. Yeah, also guys, let us know where you're watching from. It's always amazing to hear where everyone's watching from. Luke wants to know other cheap splits you could recommend. To be honest, like split boards. So this is my split board here, the Jones Solution. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not like super experienced with all the different split boards because I've only ever owned one, but I know that yeah, there's some more affordable ones out there for sure. So yeah, maybe look into some of those. I'm sure they're still good. But yeah, look around, talk to people, maybe talk to people in a shop and see what they say. We got Adam on here. We got Pretty Merch on here. Adam Harms, what's up, Adam? Thanks for tuning in, man. Rinksy01, Mike Dusanka. We got Kadek, Ryan. Ryan asking, is Whistler open? Yeah, Whistler's been open since November. They've got like all the rules in place, so you do have to like reserve the night before, or like you have to reserve every day you go. But it's actually been pretty easy to reserve. You just go on the website, and even if there's a day you want to go that is unavailable, usually at some point, if you keep checking back, like some people cancel their reservations, so spots open up. And I think I've only not been able to go snowboarding once or twice on the days that I wanted to, but I think if I really tried, I probably could have even gone those days if I tried like refreshing the app. So far it's all been pretty smooth, except like there is a bit of a log jam in the morning, like the first people to get up. It can be a bit crowded, but once you get up on the mountain, everyone tends to spread out, and yeah, it's not too bad. You have to wear your masks in line and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, Whistler is open. All right, we got Brandon, Bicycle Bum on here, Quentin again, Caden, what's up, Caden? Thanks. Sam, TD Challenge says, I would have gotten a snowboard for Christmas, but yeah, I got to build a PC instead, so I'm not complaining. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's some trade-offs. No snowboarding, but yeah, you can do some other stuff. Oh, Emily's saying, yo, Kevin, I just tried skiing and broke my arm. Oh no, hope you're having a good day. Oh, Emily, I'm sorry to hear that. Damn, that sucks. I hope you heal up quick. Teddy's in Colorado going snowboarding tomorrow. Awesome, Teddy. John says, hey, Kevin, I'm here in Colorado, hurting for snow. Had an icy week at Copper. Yeah, I've been seeing that Colorado hasn't been getting much snow, so that's a bummer. I hope you guys get some soon. We were like really lucky. Yeah, the last like month and a half or more, last couple of months here in Whistler, it's been a good start to the season. There's not much snow in our forecast at the moment, but things change so quickly. So I hope things turn around for you guys quick. Hunter is saying, please petition to open the Canadian border. So we want to come to Whistler from Washington. Yeah, same. I hope they open it soon because I'd love vice versa. I'd love to get down to Washington. Yeah, shout out Caden, Bodie. Bodie asking, have you ever been to Corinthia before? No, I've never been there, but I know that I think YouTuber Casey Willax, he kind of spent a lot of time at Corinthia, so it looks like a really cool place from his videos. Yeah, Quentin saying you should go to Michigan. I saw that. I think it's in. I guess it's not in Michigan, but maybe it's in New Jersey. They have that new like indoor snowboard center. So I'd like to try that out at some point. You looking at me says you ever came to North Carolina and snowboarded. I never have, but yeah, I would love to get over there, maybe to App Mountain or Beach or some of those resorts over in North Carolina. All right, I gotta speed up. There's man, I'm lagging behind on the questions. Osama says, have you ever snowboarded with a leg injury like IT band or muscles? And if you did, how did it go? I have. I've had like lots of different little random injuries, and it kind of depends. Like sometimes if it's like a serious injury, you just have to like I've just had to take time off and let it heal. So a couple weeks. Um, Nothing with like my legs, but actually I did have one injury, but it was like kind of like in the summertime. So I hurt my leg in the summer and it was snowboarding, but fortunately I had like 3 or 4 weeks to take off to let it heal. So yeah, sometimes you just have to let those things heal. And then when I came back to snowboarding, it still was bothering me for a while. This was actually, if you guys seen the videos when it wasn't this last year, but the year before when we went to Chile. Um, so before the Chile trip, I hurt my leg at Mount Hood, and that was maybe a month and a half before. And so the videos kind of came to an end at Mount Hood because I hurt my leg, and then I had a month and a half off, and then we went to Chile, and I was really hoping that my leg would be like 100%, but it wasn't. It was maybe at like 75%. So in some of those Chile videos, like when I watch them, I can tell that I'm kind of taking it easy just because my leg is still kind of hurt. But yeah, I kind of just rode a bit easier, didn't push it as much, and then I took some more time off to let it heal, and then it finally kind of healed up 100%. But yeah, it's like with any kind of injury, you definitely just need to give it some time. Some things you can ride with if they're like nagging and maybe it's not like a real injury. But yeah, sometimes you just need to give it some time. Jacques saying, yo, love the content you put out. About to be hitting North Star Resort in Tahoe tomorrow morning. Awesome. Awesome, Jacques. Yeah, have a good time out there. Kaden, what's your favorite place to snowboard? Probably in Japan, in Niseko, Japan. I think like, or in Hakuba, Japan too. Had some amazing times there, but the snow there is just so good. They get tons of snow in Japan. It's like so deep, and the terrain is like really fun too. It's like very like mellow terrain, lots of trees. So it's like super fun. Um, Also, this past fall, I spent some time in Europe, in Austria and Switzerland, and the mountains there are like really, the scenery is really impressive. But maybe my favorite place for snowboarding is Japan. It's pretty cool. Jeff wants to know, what is your park board this year? So my park board is it back there? Yeah, it's this one. It's the Capita Super DOA with the Strata bindings. So that's my setup this year. Haven't been riding much park just because we've been getting so much snow, but I have a feeling that I'll be probably getting back into the park soon. So we'll see how that plays out. Adam saying, picked up a second generation Orca for $400 on offer up. Beyond stoked. Awesome, Adam. That's really cool. So is that like the black Orca? That's kind of like a side profile. I think that's the one. I had that one as well. But yeah, that's awesome, man. I think you'll love it. Panda says, would you ever consider replacing your regular bindings with the step-ons? Maybe, yeah, maybe like add the step-ons into the mix because right now I've got how many? Three different pairs of bindings, and when I'm like rotating boards, I might have different bindings on different boards. So I could see myself like rotating in some step-ons. That could be fun. XLs says, would you run down Corbet's Couloir again? Yeah, definitely. So that Corbet's Couloir is like one of the steepest runs on Blackcomb. Yeah, I've been down it like hundreds and hundreds of times. It's like a really fun, it's a pretty fun run. It's very steep. Yeah, when you get there and the snow is good and like you hit it perfect, it can be one of the best runs. But usually it's a bit tracked out, but it's like a really, really fun place. It's kind of scary. It's fun going down really steep runs sometimes. Jacob says, what's the coldest temperatures you've boarded in? I think the coldest was a couple of years ago. We were snowboarding and it was like around -20 or -25. And the tip of my nose actually turned white. And yeah, somebody pointed it out to me in like the lift line. I think it was Chris. He like told me that my nose was white. So then I like put my hand on it the rest of the day. But yeah, definitely that was the coldest. And I wasn't like, I was wearing tons of layers. So I didn't feel cold, but it was just that one place on my face that was exposed that got a little bit frozen. So yeah, it was around like -25. I think the coldest temperature I've ever been in though was we were driving to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and in Wyoming we saw some like I think they were like elk cross the road, so we pulled over to the side and we all got out of the truck, and I think it was like -40 outside. So we were outside and it was like I was outside for like 2 minutes, and I started to really feel the cold and start to panic and just like have to get back into the truck. So that was like the coldest just temperature I ever experienced was in Wyoming, and it was like -40. And NA is saying, have you ever been to Sunshine Village? How does it compare to Whistler? I live in Calgary, want to visit Whistler. I've never been to Sunshine Village, but I think it is like pretty different. My impression of Sunshine Village is that it's colder. I'm not sure if they get as much snow there, but I think the views are supposed to be amazing because the mountains are like really big and like pointy, a bit more like bigger looking mountains than Whistler. But I think Whistler is a bit warmer and maybe the snow is like a bit heavier in Whistler, but I think both are probably good. Yeah, I need to visit Sunshine Village at some point to check it out. But yeah, I think both are good, but I think they are pretty different. Dylan says, do you ride every day? No, I don't ride every day. So I've actually taken the last couple days off because there was like 3 or 4 days in a row of snowboarding every day and waking up like really early. So yeah, sometimes after riding like 3 or 4 days, might take 1 or 2 days off just to catch up on videos, to edit, to maybe do some other things, just do some normal life kind of stuff, but then get back to it. So I think I'm not 100% sure. I have to check the weather, but I think I'm going to go tomorrow, and then yeah, probably yeah, just see how the weather goes too. The weather is like a big factor too in how much I go snowboarding. If the snow's good, then I'll go like every day, as many days as I can. Like I'd go. There's been some snowboard trips I've been on where we'll go snowboarding like 7 or 8 days in a row, just because if the snow is good and we're in some place for a limited time, then we want to get it as much as possible. But yeah, when you're at home, like when I'm at home here in Whistler, it's not as urgent to go every single day. But if the snow is good, if it's like sunny, or if it's powdery, then I'll definitely be going as much as possible. Quick says, is being a snowboard instructor a hard job? No, not at all. It's a super fun, easy job. It's actually pretty, yeah. When I first started teaching snowboarding, I thought it was like, I couldn't believe that they're actually going to give me money to do it, because it was just fun. You're like snowboarding, teaching people to snowboard, having fun. And yeah, it's like an amazing, it's a really cool job. I'm sure some people don't like it. It's not maybe meant for everyone, but for me, it was, yeah, it was just like, I couldn't believe they were going to give me money to do it. Holiday says, hey, I was wondering if you could help me out with something. My dad wants me to do groomers and trees, but I like riding the park and urban. Is there a board that can do both? Yeah, definitely. I would say, if you want to do park, I would get a park board, like get the park board that you like, and then you can definitely still ride trees and the groomers with that park board. So yeah, maybe do it that way. Get the park board that you like, and then you can take it wherever you want. Um, just a heads up, guys, if you ask the same question too many times, then I'll have to put you in timeout. So just ask your question once. If I miss it, maybe ask it again a little bit longer, but don't just keep asking it like 50 times, or else I'll have to put you in timeout. I'm looking at you, Wyatt Winters, asking if I've ever been to Mission Ridge 50 times. I've never been, haven't been there. Lucas with the super chat. Awesome. Thanks for the support. Lucas says, have you ever checked out Mount Baker's snowboarding? Favorite ski area in Washington? Lucas, I never have, but yeah, I've heard tons of good things, and I definitely want to go to Mount Baker. I've heard it's pretty like intense. It's like a big mountain that gets a lot of snow and is a pretty, I think, difficult mountain. So I really want to snowboard there. It's yeah, I think you can see Mount Baker from Vancouver too. So I've looked at it a bunch, but I've never actually gone. So hopefully I get to go there soon. There's another super chat from Cjol913 says, have you seen the Anon Wave Cell helmet just released? I haven't actually, yeah, no, I haven't seen that helmet yet, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it, so that's pretty cool. So Anon's got a new helmet out with wave cell technology, so that's kind of interesting. Brody says, do you wear a back brace / spine protector when you ride? I don't, no, but I do wear a helmet, and I guess, impact, when I'm riding in the train park, I do wear impact shorts too to protect my tailbone. But other than that, I don't wear a spine protector. I know that some people do, but yeah, I've never felt the need to, but maybe I should. Mika says, what was your first snowboarding trip? The first trip for the channel for Snowboard Pro Camp was actually going to Mount Bachelor in Oregon. And that was like maybe I want to say like 6 years ago. And I went with my friend Garrett and his dad. And yeah, it was awesome. I actually took the train from Vancouver to Seattle. They picked me up in Seattle, and we drove from Seattle down to Bend, Oregon. And then Mount Bachelor is like really close to there. And yeah, it was awesome. It was such a fun snowboard trip. I've been back to Mount Bachelor once since, and I would definitely be going back this season if it wasn't for the border being closed. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was like a super fun trip. It was awesome. June says, hey, Kevin, what made you decide to commit to a vegan diet, and what is your favorite vegan meal? Oh, good question, June. So I guess I became vegan like maybe it was 8 years ago. And I guess like the thing that made me interested in it is because I was like just I just felt like I've kind of felt like unhealthy, and all my like snowboard injuries and everything were starting to like rack up, and I just felt like my I wasn't doing too well health wise, and so then I switched to totally vegan, and I just felt better, so I stuck with it, and yeah, I feel like I probably wouldn't still be snowboarding if it wasn't for eating better. So yeah, just it makes sense. I just ate more fruits and vegetables, and I probably wasn't eating enough of that stuff at the time. So yeah, 8 years later, I'm still doing it. My favorite thing is probably like vegan tacos. That's probably my favorite thing. Tacos or burritos. Maybe actually no pizza. I'm gonna say pizza. We ordered a pizza. There's a pizza on the way from Fat Tony's in Whistler. So um, yeah, shout out to Fat Tony's, and also shout out to Functional Pies as well. We had that last weekend and it was awesome. And yeah, if there's any vegans out there, you can yeah they do pretty good vegan cheese now. So at Fat Tony's and at Functional Pie, they both have it. Natalie wants to know, what is your favorite movie? Oh man, there's so many. What's my favorite movie? I'm actually really into like I think my favorite kind of movie is like horror movies. Oh man, oh, it's a tough one. Actually, I think comedy movies are probably my favorite too. Um, man, oh, I know. My favorite movie is Nacho Libre. That's my favorite movie with Jack Black. If there's any Nacho Libre fans in the comments, let's I don't know. Let me know. Kenny says, "Yo, Kevin, have you ever seen the movie The Eternal Beauty of Snowboarding? My new fave." I have seen it. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like a behind the scenes sort of look at a snowboard filmer's life. That was a really cool movie. Um, Ronald says, "Why do you think snowboard is better than ski?" Um, I guess it's personal preference, but for me, the reason like I skied and snowboarded, back in the day, but the reason I chose to stick with snowboarding was it just felt like there was more of like a flow to it. Like when you're riding, almost like surfing, when you see like a surfer riding a wave and you see that kind of like flow of riding a wave, that was similar to the feeling on a snowboard. So that's what really kind of kept me snowboarding, and I didn't continue with skiing. Um, yeah, when you get into like a rhythm and flow with your snowboard and riding in powder, I think like too like powder riding on a snowboard, it just you feel like you're surfing, or yeah, like you're riding a wave. So that feeling I think is what kept me with snowboarding, and to me that's why I liked snowboarding more than skiing. But yeah, I know people that love skiing like just as much or maybe more. So people love skiing too, but yeah, that's what kept me with snowboarding. Ryan says, "Hey Kevin, how do you typically feed yourself on the slopes? You guys don't seem to bring backpacks or anything up the mountain." Yeah, Ryan. So yeah, normally it depends on the day, but recently, like, well, like I'll eat before, and then I go up the mountain for like 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes yeah, I don't actually eat on the mountain, or I might just have like a Cliff Bar or something in my pocket that I might eat. But yeah, normally like when I snowboard, I actually don't stop for like lunch or to like eat anything big, just because like for me, I would rather go snowboarding, ride as much as possible, until I get to the point where I'm like too hungry or too tired. And then that's when I go home or I go get something to eat. So I definitely, and yeah, I feel like when on days where the snow is good and you're like out to like really like for me, it's like I'm going up to have a good time snowboarding, but also to film and make a video. And if I'm going up to make a video, then I just want to like just keep doing it until, until I run out of steam. So I usually don't like stop and eat unless it's like something small. So I'll eat before and eat after. Normally too, and I find that if I stop and like eat like any kind of big like lunch or anything, then I just kind of feel like sluggish after that. So it kind of like takes away from the momentum of the day. Alex says, "What do you wash your gear with?" Um, the Grangers stuff is getting expensive. Okay, I don't know what Grangers is, but I guess with my jacket and pants, my outerwear, there is like a solution. I can't remember what it's called, but there's like it comes in two bottles, and the first bottle is like the cleaner that you put into the wash with your stuff, and then the second bottle is um, like a waterproofing, so it like helps to re waterproof. And I usually, what's it called? It's called like if anybody remembers what that's called, let us know. But yeah, that's what I usually do. It's like a two-part solution. Nick Wax. Yeah, thank you, Luke, and Tyler, and Natural Strain. Thank you guys. But yeah, Nick Wax. I think it's still a bit expensive. It's maybe $20 for the combo for two. But yeah, that's what I would wash my outerwear with. Mika says, "I'm new to the channel and I was just wondering if you live in Whistler." Yeah, I do live in Whistler. Yeah, I've been living in Whistler for a while. And yeah, yeah, Whistler's where I'm at. Marcus says, "How do you not get wet always going?" So yeah, I try to get outerwear that is made of Gore-Tex. So my jacket and pants, if it's a wet day, I'll definitely wear my jacket and pants that are Gore-Tex. And yeah, recently 686, they sent me like a jacket pants combo that are Gore-Tex, and it's actually been working like amazingly. So Gore-Tex works really well. There's kind of like different qualities of Gore-Tex too. So it kind of depends on like which one you buy, but if you get good Gore-Tex, then it helps to keep you dry. And yeah, like the rest, like you can get Gore-Tex mitts as well. But yeah, just trying to keep the snow from going inside of your neck or on your face, or if you wear your powder skirt as well, that can kind of stop the snow from going up your back or anything like that. So, but you still get wet eventually. Eventually, like somehow the snow or water gets in. But yeah, you can do your best to keep it out. Asen Webb says, "I need tips on Toeside." For Toeside, just like the only thing you can do is try to spend more time on your toes. So when I used to teach snowboarding and I would have students that didn't like to do the toe turn, or they just had trouble like sliding on their toes, I would just get them to make a goal each run of doing like half of that run on their toes, because sometimes you can fall into just being comfortable and riding on your heels and just sliding on your heels for the whole run. And if you can like commit to just trying to do half the run on your toes, then eventually your toe skills will improve. And for doing the toe turn, I think one of the like there's maybe two like big things to think about. One is like let the turn come around slowly. So don't try to like do it too quickly. It's like when you do it really quick, that's when you can kind of lose your balance and fall. And then the second thing is, so let it come around slowly and then turn your chest to actually face the top of the slope. And that will just help bring the toe turn around. And then you can get balance on your toes, control your speed, and then get ready for the next turn. let's just go back to the super chats. Adam saying if I can make Jillian a mod. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely will. Rinksy saying with the super chat, thanks for the support, says, what are your thoughts on the Ride Warpig? Yeah, I think it's a really good sort of like intermediate style board. I think one thing I've heard is that it's a bit soft. So some people have said it's like a bit soft, but I think it's like a versatile snowboard too. So a board you can take into the park or into the powder. So it sounds versatile, but some of the feedback from some riders that I know that have ridden it say that it's a little bit soft. So maybe that's one reason I haven't I've never owned one myself is because it may be too soft. But I think for like an intermediate rider for a board that can do a bit of everything, I think the Warpig could be really good. And Natalie wants to know, what is a snowboard boot that you would recommend that is cheaper than normal? I would check out some of the Vans boots, maybe because I've ridden some Vans that are like cheaper than normal, I guess, and I really like them. So maybe look into a pair of Vans. BSC Boarding says, hey man, you got any tips for board sliding a rail? Yeah, definitely. So I would say first make sure that you can board slide like boxes very easily. And then even like maybe board slide some down boxes. Then when you go to board slide a rail, start on like obviously start on an easy one, like a ride on. And then what I usually do is like, if there's a rail that I'm trying to board slide and I'm a little bit scared to like go straight into sideways, I'll start by just doing it 50-50 a few times. And then once I can get on confidently 50-50 with like out any worries and pretty easily. And I've been doing board slides on some like similar features that are like maybe boxes or something that are just easier. And then, yeah, I'm just feeling comfortable. Then I'll maybe try a board slide. But I'll definitely, yeah, get a bunch of board slides on an easier feature and then get a bunch of 50-50s on that easy rail first before going for the board slide. So, and then it's good too to like try it when the snow is in good condition so that if you do fall, you've got like some forgiving snow. And then, yeah, just make sure you're wearing your helmet. And yeah, I think the impact shorts for me help with confidence too, because if you do slip out and you've got those impact shorts, it's going to help keep you protected. So yeah, just build up to it by like doing lots of practice on other types of features. And we've got a couple more super chats. All right, Kim San Lim with the super chat. Thanks for the support, man. Says, consider going to Big White in Kelowna, BC. Yeah. I've actually on my app, like the snowforecast.com app where it shows the weather, I've got Big White plugged in there. So if there's some good snow coming to Big White, I would definitely go check it out. Kim, is that where you ride? Maybe you can let me know how it is at the moment. And another super chat, $4.99, saying, just say hello and sometime I think you and another YouTube name, Chaco Taco, look alike. Unable to snowboard now because in self-isolation. Awesome. Well, thank you for, I'm sorry to hear that you're in isolation. Thanks for the support. And so you think I look like a YouTuber called Chaco Taco. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, thank you for the support with the super chat. And yeah, I hope your isolation is up soon. Bobby Marcourt with the super chat. Thanks for the support. Bobby says, do you think flow bindings are a functional binding for resorts and getting lots of runs in? Yeah, like I think if you're at a resort where you want to get a lot of groomer runs in, then flows are definitely good because you can get off the chair, put your foot in, and then lift up that high back area, and you get in really quick like that. So I think flows are good for resort riding for sure, and for getting lots of runs. I guess the only issues I've seen with flows is when there's a lot of snow and powder. Sometimes it gets stuck in there, then and it's hard to get your snowboard boot in, and then it doesn't kind of close up properly. Or with the flows, you always have to be on like your toe edge to get the flow to get it in. And so you sometimes may find yourself in a situation where you're on your heels, maybe on a steep run, and then you gotta get over onto your toes to get your boot in. So there's like a couple things that make flows a little bit difficult in certain situations. But yeah, if you like the convenience of like getting into them and getting lots of runs, then that is one bonus. Uh, Cow says, any tips for going faster and staying in control? I think for speed and control, like the number one thing is just feeling comfortable using your snowboard's edges. So, like for me, when I'm riding fast, the one thing that like gives me that confidence to maybe stay going fast is just being able to get my snowboard on edge and like slow myself down a little bit. So try doing like more turns, going from like edge to edge, maybe like spraying a little bit of snow to the side, and just like feeling that control of being able to use your edges to slow yourself down. And it's like the more you feel confident that you can actually slow yourself down and stop, then that will actually allow you to go faster. So if you feel like when you're going fast, if you feel like you can't slow down, that's when you get scared. And I think, it can then crash or, have like a bad stop. But if you can use your edges, going from heels to toes and just controlling your speed, then the more that you can do that with confidence and the more you can actually build your speed up. So yeah, just practice using your edges and feeling like you're in control. Asen says, every time I go on my toe side, my I catch my edge and fall on my tailbone, which just creates more and more fear to go on toe side. Asen, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Maybe what you can do is like if you have a friend or like somebody in your family that could like give you a hand for learning your toes for a while. So yeah, a huge thing is like just have somebody like hold your hands while you're learning your toe edge. Then then you won't fall backwards. And if you can get somebody to do that for like say like an entire run or maybe two runs, then after you do that, then you kind of have that confidence to try it yourself. So I think that's a huge one. Maybe just get somebody to hold your hands when you're like learning the toe edge. And we got El Stacker on here. What's up, man? Watching from Boise, Idaho. El Stacker wants to know, where is everyone watching from? Liam wants to know, how do you learn tame dogs? Yeah, there's a video on the channel, Liam, but so maybe check out that video. But a good place to start is on a trampoline. So get them on a trampoline first, and then go from there. Bread says, do you have any tips on how not to crash / not just slide down the hill on your heels? That's a good one, man. Just how do I have any tips on how not to crash? So yeah, for you, Bread, I would say if you're sliding down the hill a lot on your heels, that's okay. So, but the places where you feel like it's easy to slide on your heels, maybe try doing the toes. So the easy areas, slide on your toes, and then anywhere you start to feel like it's getting a bit harder, go back to your heels. And if you can kind of like go back and forth that way, then I think you will become, you'll start going towards turning much easier. But yeah, just do what feels easy to you. Like do what feels fun. So use your heels where it feels difficult and it might be scary, and then where you may fall, just like use the way that you're comfortable with. And then once you kind of are in some easy areas, then that's when you can practice your toe sliding too. Aaron says, any tips for committing to big jumps? Yeah, so I would say first thing is like work up to it. So start on like the smaller jumps and like work your way up to bigger. And then don't make the jump bigger until you're just feeling really confident on the other jumps that you've done, and make sure you have a few different tricks on the smaller jumps as well. And then when you do you're ready to go bigger, that's when you can like start watching other people, see what speed other people take into a jump. Um, and like that's what I usually do is I'll build my confidence by hitting some other jumps, start feeling good on those. And then when there's maybe a bigger one that I've never hit before, I'll just watch other people do it and try to like copy the speed that they do. But yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. But yeah, just the more time you're in the park too, the more you feel comfortable with the different features. So just spend lots of time in the terrain park, lots of time on the stuff you're comfortable with, and then every once in a while you can push yourself a little bit. But yeah, that's it's good to have goals like that to go bigger and to learn tricks. Quick wants to know, why did you switch out your 2021 Volcom outerwear already? Um, I haven't switched it out, so I do have, yeah, I have two, I guess two Volcom jacket and pants sets, and yeah, I'm still wearing those ones as well. They're awesome. The Volcom, I guess this is a stretch Gore-Tex jacket with the Volcom Gooch pants, and then I've got the Volcom jacket and pants of like the Volcom Longo jacket and pants. So I'm still wearing that as well. It's yeah, really liking it. And then on top of that, 686 like sent me a bunch of jackets and pants to like test out. And so I'm just like adding those into the mix. And yeah, they've been good too. So I'm just gonna wear as much different stuff as possible, mainly to like just to it's good to ride different stuff for me, and then I'll have like more things I can recommend to you guys. If I like something and I think it's good, then I'll let you guys know. And if I ride something and it's not good, then you guys will probably I usually just don't talk about it or don't ever ride it again. So yeah, it's a good way to just ride more gear is when I get the opportunity to. Jared says, any tips on riding icy conditions? Yeah, when you're riding ice, I would say like you want to look ahead, see where the ice is, and then if you have to ride over some ice, try to like go with it. So if you do get on to your edge a little bit, like don't try to get onto it too much. Just get onto your edge slightly so that you can kind of slide with the ice. So go with it. Um, if I were riding a resort where it's like icy a lot, what you can do too is like check out some of the snowboards that have magnet traction down the side. I think that magnet traction is probably the best for riding ice, and that really helps to grip the ice. It's kind of like a bread knife on ice, and that's probably one of the best things to have too. But yeah, don't try to like fight the ice, just kind of like slide with it. Richard saying the 686 Hydra is my jacket of choice. Awesome, Richard. Muffin Man says, "Hey Kev, big fan of your channel. Do you purchase multiple passes to get the coverage of resorts?" Yeah, so this year I got the Epic Pass and also the Icon, which I did use the Icon in Europe when I was in Switzerland. Zermatt was on the Icon Pass, so I used it there. But yeah, since everything has kind of gotten a bit hectic with traveling, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get my money's worth with the Icon Pass this year. I'll try. I think Revelstoke is on the Icon Pass too. So if I travel there, then I'll probably use it. But yeah, it's like good if you, yeah, for me, like for doing this as a job, getting that kind of a pass is amazing because I can just travel and have one pass for everything. Or yeah, it's like if you're somebody that has, if you plan on doing some snowboard trips through the winter, it can be a really good idea, especially if like your local mountain is, for example, on something like the Icon Pass. And so you get that, and then you can travel to like other resorts that allow you to go on that pass. Yeah, it's a pretty cool deal. I definitely recommend picking up one of those types of passes if you can, because yeah, then when you go traveling, you don't have to like buy more lift tickets. It's already taken care of. Alex wants to know, how is the situation in Whistler with COVID, like the restaurants, the après, the life after skiing? So Alex, I think that all the nightlife type stuff is pretty much shut down. I think there's definitely like bars and restaurants that are open, but it's like a different atmosphere, I think, where you're at your table and you've got the plexiglass up and you're kind of confined to your area, your table of the restaurant or bar. I don't think that they have like I haven't been in any, but I don't think they have like the nightclub stuff happening with like dancing or anything like that. Uh, but yeah, a lot of things are kind of normal. So like there's restaurants open, but yeah, you just have more space in between, or they have the plexiglass up, or they just have like different rules for keeping everyone separated. The kind of thing like when you go in, you have to wear your mask, and if you're walking around, you have to wear a mask. But if you're at your table, you can just yeah, you can take it off. But yeah, it's a bit weird. It's kind of quiet in town, but I think there's like enough people coming and buying stuff that businesses are doing okay. Um, but yeah, it's just a little bit, and the restaurants are also like there's like less tables too, so it's like much more spread out. But yeah, and then there's also more takeaway. So like if there's like the smaller like kind of restaurants, I feel like they're like trying to put an emphasis on takeaway food. All right, I think we have a few more super chats. Uh, super chat from Jared Jensen says, "I find my edge slipping on ice more than others with my ability, intermediate to advanced. Any tips for riding icy conditions?" Yeah, Jared, I think so. If you're like an intermediate advanced rider and you still feel yourself sliding out on ice more than you think you should, one thing maybe is that you're getting your body weight like too far out over the snow, or over the ice, I should say. So try when when you are doing turns and you're getting over an icy patch, really think of keeping like your weight sort of like centered and stacked over your snowboard. Because yeah, I've sometimes run into that problem too because I'm taller. I'm like almost 6'4". So if my body like starts to get on an angle out away from my board, then that's when my board can like slide out, especially like on ice or something like that. So that's one thing that you can kind of be aware of, is just keeping your weight centered. Another thing too that could help is increasing your high back angle. So I remember like years ago, I used to ride with my high backs at like 0. And I remember a few times being on my heels and having my heel edge like slide out. And then when I put my high back angle to like a 3 or 4, then that actually gave me more control over my heel edge without having to like move my weight to sort of control it. So maybe try increasing your high back angle. That could help you to like just stay more centered over your board. And yeah, Jared, let me know if that helps, man. And Nathan Garza with the $10 super chat. Awesome. Thanks, Nathan. Says, what's going on, Kev? I made it on to catch you. I have not seen a video comparison between the Jones Flagship and the LibTech Orca. What is your opinion between the two? Awesome, man. Wow. I think that's a good question, Nathan. So I have ridden I rode the Flagship. It's been like, I think it's been 2 years since I rode the Flagship. My impression though is that the Flagship is more of like is more of a powder board. If it seems like it cruises through the powder a little bit uh, with a bit more like with a bit more of like of a surfy feel, so that it cruises edge to edge pretty quick. It's yeah, just nice for like getting a flow through the powder. I would say the Jones Flagship for me just felt like a bit more like mellow through the powder. Like it floated really well, but it wants to just like ride and float through powder and cruise. Where the LibTech Orca, it's not as powder specific. It's not like as much of a powder board. So it's not that like cruising through powder board type board. But I feel like to me, the LibTech Orca, you can get a bit more aggressive on. So for me, like riding and hitting some drops, I feel like the LibTech Orca, because of the C2X profile with the camber zones under your feet, you have like a bit more stability landing into powder and maybe going faster speeds too. Where the Jones Flagship, I believe, is like camber to like the rockered out nose, where a big drop or like really high speeds, you might start to get just not as much control out of the Orca. But yeah, they both have the sort of like magnet traction down the side. But yeah, I think that's the main difference, is that the Jones probably floats a bit better, but is made more for cruising, and the LibTech floats a little less good, but you can really like attack the mountain a bit more on the Orca. But yeah, they're both super solid. I'll have to actually get back on the Flagship again to really compare it, because the Orca is like set in my mind the way that it feels and rides, but the Flagship, I think it's been 2 years. Maybe it's been just over a year, but it's been a little while. But yeah, Nathan Garza, awesome, man. Thanks for the support, man. You're a legend, dude. Yeah. Yeah, good question too. And Jeff with the super chat says, splits or peaked pies fund. Oh, awesome. At least with COVID, Whistler Blackcomb feels like the old Whistler of the 90s with addition of the, sorry, I'm going to read that again. Jeff says, splits or peaked pies fund. At least with COVID, Whistler Blackcomb feels like the old Whistler Blackcomb of the 90s with the addition of the peak to peak. Enjoy the shorter lines for now. Awesome, Jeff. Thanks, man. Yeah, I love both those places, splits and peaked pies. Yeah, peaked pies, especially recently, I've been going there a bunch. They have some awesome pies in there. All right, we'll go for a couple more questions, guys. Thanks for coming to hang out on a Saturday night. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Micah says, random question. What type of video games do you play? I don't play video games. It's been a while. The last video game I played, it was like, I got really into it actually. It was like 7 or 8 years ago. It was like, oh man, what was it called? It was like an arcade style game. Oh, it's called Geometry Wars. If anyone out there has played Geometry Wars, that was like the last game I really got into. And it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Other than that, on one snowboard trip, I was playing some Worms Armageddon, if anyone knows that game, but only like I only played it maybe 3 times. But yeah, there's some fun. I used to play like a lot of hockey like games. Being Canadian, I think I don't know if hockey games are as popular as anywhere else, but in Canada they're pretty popular. So I used to play some hockey, yeah, video games, but I was never that into it. Um, I was always somewhat into it. Bad Rider says we need to get you onto Steep, Kev. Yeah, I know, but then I wouldn't have any time to edit videos, Adam. I need to like, I need to balance my screen time. All right, let's go for one more question. Yun No FG4 says, any tips for riding switch, Kevin? Awesome. Yeah, definitely. So for riding switch, definitely check out the channel. There's a video on with tips on riding switch. But what you want to remember is that for switch riding, you can already do like most of those skills. So you can already ride on your heels. You can already ride on your toes. The only new thing you're adding in is having that new front of your board go straight down the hill. And I guess my biggest tip for switch would be to like bring it to somewhere easy, someplace on the hill where like you're really comfortable, and just like just let the new front of your board go down the hill for like 1 second before getting onto your new edge. So I think that's the only thing you can really do is like take it somewhere easy and just let your new front of your board go down the hill for like just 1 second. Don't try to turn it too quick. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, is that when you try to ride switch and you do it somewhere that's maybe not that mellow, and you try to do really quick turns, then that's when you can like catch an edge. So take it somewhere easy, let your new front of your board go down the hill, and just do like mellow big turns with it. And yeah, the more you practice, I remember I used to go out and I would like try to like spend half my day riding switch just to like get better at it. And then yeah, once you kind of pick it up, any place where there's like an easy part of the run, just like spend that time riding switch. Awesome, sweet. I think we'll wrap it up. But yeah, thank you guys coming to hang out for this random Saturday night live chat. I hope wherever you guys are, you're getting some good snow or able to snowboard. And if you're not able to snowboard, yeah, I hope you're having like a good time doing some other things. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Yeah, thanks so much. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like if you liked it. And I'll see you guys on here sometime soon. Awesome. Sweet. Later, guys.